Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I want to talk about the official trailer that came out for Superman. If you haven't seen it already, I'll include a link to it in the description. Initially, I thought was interesting how we kind of open with that aspect of Lois is going to be interviewing Clark as Superman, which answers a question of like, well, we still don't know if Lois already knows by the time this movie starts that Clark is Superman, or does she find out partway through the movie? Whatever the case may be, she's interviewing him about kind of, I guess, some of the events throughout the movie. And I remember hearing someone talk about that somewhere, and I was wondering, like, when I heard certain, you know, it's like slight detail and I guess slight spoiler, but it wasn't really spoilers, but it was like an element of the movie. And I was like, I wonder, is that all that interview is going to be the entire, like, is it going to be like a large bunch of scenes, or is it going to be the framing device for the entire movie, that basically the movie's kind of a pseudo flashback where like most of the movie it's all being told through Clark's perspective on the events of the movie, and you know, kind of Lois challenging some of his approaches to how he's handled certain things. And I think if that's the case, I mean, I'd be perfectly fine with it if it's like, oh, this is just like a big part of the movie where they're just having this lengthy conversation about everything. But I think it'd be really neat if it was the framing device for the movie. Not trying to compare apples and oranges, but I just think it's kind of interesting. There's an episode of Superman and Lois in season 1. I want to say it's episode 10. It's not a one-to-one, but basically a flashback of Clark's early life as Superman is being like used as a framing device. But once again, it's not under the same vein and stuff like that. But it's interesting because in that flashback, Lois interviews Superman, but obviously at that time she doesn't know that Clark and Superman are the same person. So it brings up this interesting conundrum where it's like, okay, like Clark thinks like, okay, I'm just going to get interviewed by Lois. I mean, I trust Lois. I know she's going to be fair to me, but that's the thing. She doesn't like go easy. She doesn't like take him on with kid gloves. She's like, no. I'm going to challenge some of these points because I believe, because for one, she's trying to prepare him. It's like Lois, she's going to do her due diligence as a journalist and as a reporter, but also the fact is like no one else will like give this perspective. Anyone else would chew him up and spit him out for like this whole thing. And I love that whole element of like, for Clark, it's like, no, I stopped the war. She's like, did you? He's like, no, I stopped the war. I helped people. And it's just, it's the element of you are this powerful being who kind of wants no regulations, because you're like, when people are in danger, no matter what's going on, I'm going to step in. But it's like you're entering territories you don't know what's going on, and also you never know if you're causing more harm than good. And there's also the element of you're kind of an American representative, even though you're like, no, I'm Superman. I'm not abiding by like the government. I shouldn't have to wait to save people to get permission from the president. It's interesting because they cut to Lex at that time. I don't know if that's just set up for like, oh, we're going to Lex Luthor being president route eventually, or whether it's just kind of like they just cut it that way. It was like, nah, I doubt that was an interesting cut. So I don't know if I doubt he's president right now. I think he's still just the head of LexCorp, but I'm so curious if that's just kind of set up for like maybe by the end of this movie he becomes president, or he's putting his hat in the ring to become president, you know, so on and so forth. We do see Rick Flag because they reference like basically Superman getting arrested for what he did, because it's kind of like, well, you crossed a lot of laws doing what you did, even though it's the thing of I'm saving people. But it's like, once again, you are too powerful to just be let loose to do whatever you want to. You have to kind of be reined in. This also ties in because I said like, oh, you're kind of this American representative. I am curious which route James Gunn is going with this, like the traditional truth, justice, in the American way. Because in the past few years, they shifted it to truth, justice, and a better tomorrow, kind of representing like Superman is more this worldly figure, which he is, as we see that scene again of the little boy holding up the flag, whispering Superman. So it is that thing of he's not just this American icon, he is this world figure of like, oh, he's around the world saving everyone. So I'm curious to see which way James Gunn approaches that. It'd be interesting if he started off truth, justice, and the American way, and then shifted to no, truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. It'd be interesting if they went down that route, but we'll have to wait and see. We see some person in a giant golden like helmet or whatever it looks like. I don't know. It seems like that might be the same person that's in the black suit that everyone was making a joke of. Oh my God, it's Black Noir. I don't know if I think that's the same person. That might be someone different, but it looks like there's almost like this golden suit, and like, I mean, at least got a helmet. It kind of looks like Samus in her armor a little bit. It's like what it immediately made me think of for Metro Prime. I also get to see a little Guy Gardner in action, a little more Hulk Girl in action, a little more Mr. Terrific, a little peek at Metamorpho too. Also get to see the engineers slicing up some of the robots in the Fortress of Solitude, and it's like, yeah, of course Lex is going to bust in there with going to need some extra muscle when he's in there. You're kind of concerned because you're like, oh, Crypto, because we don't know what Crypto's power level is. Like, you know, I mean, I don't always know what Crypto's power level is. I mean, I doubt he's not nearly as strong as Clark. He's strong, has some of his abilities, but I never fully know where the line is drawn with Crypto's abilities. I mean, it varies from, like, I guess, version to version type of situation. So you're kind of like, oh, hope nothing happens to Crypto. I also thought it was interesting back to the Lois and Clark conversation about how Lois is like, well, you've come under fire. He's like, under fire. He feels like you're exaggerating. She's like, no, it came under fire. She's like, there's a lot of people that hate what you did. But obviously it's that thing of people support. I mean, there's that moment he kind of got like knocked down and the guy walks over, he's like Superman, and like helps him up. It's like, that's the beautiful thing about like people's relationship with Superman of like, no, like when you get knocked down, we're here to, hey, you okay, man? Like, yeah. And he's just like, all right, gotta get right back to it. So, but yeah, I think that's going to be such an interest. It's that division of like, once again, back to it of just like, I just want to do good. Like, why am I getting chastised for it? Why should I get caught up in all of these like things? Oh, these things are in place for a reason. It's like, no, I have the power to help people. I just want to help people. Why is that such a bad thing? Why am I the bad guy for just helping people? Why am I wrong for just helping people? And it's like, dude, it's complicated. It feels like it shouldn't be, but it's like things are in place for a reason, whether you agree with them or not. And it's like you kind of have to abide by that. And you doing what you're doing is breaking a whole bunch of laws domestically, internationally. So yeah, it's a complicated thing, and navigating that as a superhero when like other heroes like Mr. Terrific, a Hulk Girl, a Guy Gardner are all, you know, working for Maxwell Lord. And so it's a situation of they are corporatized superheroes. So it's like they know how to fall in line, do it what they're told. They act more like soldiers than superheroes versus Superman is like, no, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm assuming like after he's kind of caught a lot of that flack is when he goes home and he's with his dad, and he's like, his dad's like, it's basically the things you do and the choices you make are what define you. Because it's like, don't let people tell you who you are based on what you like, because you're this, you're superpowered, you're this. It's like your choices and the things you do are what reflect you, and the good that you do shows that you are the good person that you are. And so we had that moment later on where, like, I think it's his mom being like, oh, I'll clean off your boots and get them ready for you. So it does seem like this might be, we'll see. Because that was a conversation too, because like initially we only ever saw his dad, so it's like we didn't know whether it's a thing of his mom was going instead of his dad, or whether it's a situation of both of his parents are still alive type of situation. Because some continuities, they are still alive while he's Superman. Sometimes he loses his dad when he's younger. It varies from continuity to continuity. Because you take something like Smallville, he lost his dad. Obviously, you take something like Superman Lois, he lost his dad when he was 15 or whatever, but then like he doesn't lose his mom until he's like in his 40s. But then you take something like Superman and Lois, My Adventures with Superman, where Clark is in his mid to early 20s and both of his parents are still alive and well. There's also the Lex Luthor of it all, the framing of he's just like, oh, this guy just ends up becoming the whole conversation, because he's going to frame it as like, oh my God, this guy kind of came out of nowhere. Do we really know who he is, what he stands for? Yeah, he's powerful, but are we just going to let him do whatever he wants? It's going to be that, but it's going to be like, no, I need to be the center of attention. This person who's an alien coming here, like doing whatever he wants to, are we really going to let him run amok? Can we trust him? Do we know who, I mean, he's working for the America's best interest for now, but what happens if one day we do something that ticks him off and he decides to go on a rampage or work for a different country? It's like, can we really trust this guy? He's not an American, Like, I'm so curious to see the angle Lex takes with this whole situation. I'm sure it's just always going to be like the xenophobic element to it, but I'm curious like how he's going to like push and pull the narrative of like the public opinion about Superman and like which way he's going to approach that. It's going to be really interesting. Trying to pretend like it's about the greater good for people when it's just a selfish thing of like, well, I want to be the center of attention. Like, it should be about me. I've done so much good, and like, why is he all of a sudden taking the limelight? Why is he the main focus of the conversation? It's like, no, this guy doesn't matter, powers or not. Then we see him kind of getting locked up later. I'm assuming that's after the engineer and the dude in black and Rick Flag Sr. end up arresting him, is like when Clark is in that cage or whatever. So, but obviously these are just some of my thoughts. I'd love to get to know your thoughts in the comments down below. What did you think of the trailer? What are some things you expect from the movie? What are some things you want to see from the movie? Has this shifted your thoughts about the movie since the teaser trailer? Just let me know all your thoughts. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and good